What's happening, guys? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am back with another quick tip video all about weight loss, and more specifically about weight loss plateaus and a few of my best tips on how to break them. And the reason why today's video is all about weight loss plateaus is because I thought it was a great stepping stone from the last quick tip video we did, which was all about how to find your initial calorie goals to start your diet. And if you happen to miss that video, there's a link to check it out in the video description below. And that video was great because it gave you an initial calorie goal to aim for to start losing weight. But inevitably, guys, if you don't ever make any changes from that initial calorie total, you will eventually hit a weight loss plateau. I even allude to it a little bit in that last video. I say you at 200 pounds isn't burning the same amount of calories as you at 180 pounds. So you have to make changes. Otherwise, you will hit these weight loss plateaus. And I just want to expand on that idea a little bit because I know firsthand just how frustrating weight loss plateaus are, and I have a few really good tips on how to avoid them, or if you find yourself in one, on how to break through one. First and foremost, I think it's super important that you're 100% sure you're actually experiencing a weight loss plateau. What I mean by that is a couple of things. Number one, you've been keeping track of your daily weights either on a calendar or in a spreadsheet, and you're also keeping track of your average weekly weights, and it's been at least 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks that you haven't seen the scale move at all, and your average weekly weight really hasn't moved in that time. And the reason why I say at least 2 weeks, guys, is because even a weekly average weight can be deceiving. Maybe you're a girl and it's that time of the month and you're holding on to a little bit of water because it's that time of the month, or maybe you had salt, a lot of salt a couple of the days in the week, and that led to some heavier weigh-ins because you were holding on to some water, or maybe you ate late at night and you woke up heavier a few of the days and that threw off your weekly average weight. So there could be a lot of factors that in just 1 week's time maybe were a bit deceiving. But over 2-3 weeks, you kind of get a better idea of, wow, my weight hasn't changed the past 2 or 3 weeks. I probably am experiencing a weight loss plateau at this point. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that another reason why you may mistakenly think you're experiencing a weight loss plateau is maybe you haven't been tracking or weighing your food as accurately as you could be. This is where you have to be a little bit honest with yourself, guys. Have you really been weighing all your food, or have you been going out to eat and guesstimating a lot on what you've actually been eating? Or have you been forgetting to track some of your food because you input all of your food into MyFitnessPal late at night and then you can't remember what you ate during the day like I do from time to time? So just be conscious of that, guys, because those untracked calories or those guesstimated calories can really add up and take you from a calorie deficit to more of a maintenance level or even a little above, and be the reason why you're not losing any weight. It's actually not because you're in a weight loss plateau, you've just been eating more food than you think you have. However, if those scenarios don't apply to you and you actually are experiencing a weight loss plateau, here are a couple of tips to get you through that plateau. So my first tip for breaking through your weight loss plateau is to just make a moderate decrease to your total daily calorie consumption. And the key word in that last sentence is moderate, guys. Don't do anything drastic. There's no reason to make a drastic change to anything, but just a small change can make a big difference in terms of your weight loss. So for the ladies out there, a decrease of about 75 to 150 calories a day from what you're currently eating can really get your weight loss ball rolling again. And for the guys out there, a decrease of about 100 to 200 calories a day from whatever your current daily intake has been should help get your weight loss moving again. So with that being said, there's no way around it, guys. As you're dieting, you will have to decrease your food intake to continue to maintain your caloric deficit and to keep losing weight. But that shouldn't be your only tool to maintain that caloric deficit. You wanna have a 1-2 punch approach to dieting. The reason why you want to use a combination of these two things is because if you make adjustments just from your calories alone, there's only so many calorie decreases you're going to be able to make throughout your diet to lose weight, and you're only going to be able to lose so much weight by doing that. It's really not sustainable. It's a great way to feel like poop, and it's a great way to slow down your metabolism. I think a great way to approach dieting is trying to keep your calories as high as possible while losing as much weight as possible. And there's one caveat to that, but I'll explain that when we get to tip number 2, which we're gonna do right now. Tip number 2 is just start being more active. So if you don't go for morning walks, maybe try to incorporate a few morning walks during the week into your routine. And as the weeks progress, go for 4 walks. Then the next week, go for 5 walks, or 2 weeks from then, go for 6 walks. You know, just build more and more activity into your day. That way you're expending more calories, and you burning more calories just throughout the day just by being more active will also aid in creating that caloric deficit. So you just need to find ways throughout your day to burn more calories. If that means doing more cardio after your workouts, or maybe that means instead of working out 3 times a week, you work out 4 times a week. Or by the end of it, maybe instead of working out 3 times a week, you ended up working out 5 times a week by the end of your diet. But the point is, as you're dieting, you want to try and increase your activity slowly to keep that caloric deficit rolling as well. And now that I explained tip number 2 a little bit, I think it's a good time to go back, Tarantino this a little bit, and further explain on what I said before, which was I think you should try and keep your calories as high as possible while losing as much weight as possible. And what I want to say to that is you also don't want to just kill yourself with cardio. It's not just add a ton of activity into your routine to lose weight and keeping those calories higher, because that's not healthy either. There's only going to be so much activity you're going to be able to do during a week. That's why you want to have that 1-2 punch so that you can do this gradually. So that way they can work together and you can sustain your weight loss and keep your weight loss rolling week in and week out. Because one week you might make that macro change, but the next week you might add your 4th walk to the week. Or maybe you use a combination of both. So I'm gonna decrease my calories a little bit, but I'm also gonna increase my activity at the same time. I won't decrease my calories as much because I'm gonna also increase my activity as well. So it's just important to keep in mind that you have 2 really great tools to lose weight, and you should be using them in a 1-2 combination. It's like a Mike Tyson punch out, and you don't wanna just be using one. Just one, no, there's no power there, but 1-2, he's knocking people out. And that's why if you use this combination, you can really have a lot of weight loss success and you can sustain your weight loss success week in and week out. So that's how I'd go about not just breaking a weight loss plateau, guys, but also just go about dieting in general, making sure that I'm using that 1-2 combination that we just talked about that can be so powerful for actually losing weight week in and week out. And just to wrap things up, guys, tracking your calories can be a great way to lose weight, don't get me wrong. But learning how to track your macros, which are calories, it's just a little bit more specific, can be a much more powerful tool for fat loss, not just weight loss. So if you want to learn everything there is to know about tracking your macros from just a beginner standpoint, you don't need to know anything about it. I wrote an ebook, Macros Made Easy. It's in the video description below. Basically, it'll show you how to get your starting macros, how to track your macros, how to adjust your macros, kind of like we were talking about in today's video, the adjustments you need to make as you're dieting to keep losing weight. It goes over all that in the book. Also, it talks about the activity adjustments you might want to make week in and week out so that you can keep losing weight. It's an all-encompassing guide, and that's available for purchase in the video description below. But regardless, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you got something from it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, and I will see you guys in the next video.